Hey, well, we are back with the one and only Darienne Lake.
Hi.
Darienne, you are on tour right now with the lovely Mrs. Kasha Davis, right?
Yes, we are doing Bosom Buddies. What a lovely pair. And yeah, we were doing the show, comedy and fun and a little shade thrown in there and some singing. Can you believe it? Yeah, she loves to sing and her old standards and stuff. And I just love songs that, you know, make me feel like a drag queen, you know? So, you know, I sang like when I was in chorus and all that kind of stuff, but, you know, I don't want to be like one of those queens that's like, let me throw out an album. You know?
Well, what songs do you sing in the show?
I do Poor Unfortunate Souls. Yeah, I also do Big Blonde and Beautiful from Hairspray.
Fun.
Which, you know, that musical like changed my life, and we also do like, you know, anything you can do, I can do better. Anything you can do, and she's like, I can do anything better than you. I'm like, no, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. So it's, you know, fun and shady.
That's
and all
good.
that. And we sing, of course, Bosom Buddies from me. And we just have a great time, you know, a couple
That
of lip
sounds
sync
good.
things in there, but yeah.
Any fun stories from the road of the two of you guys?
That she can, like me, like, you know, we're great in small doses sometimes, and sometimes you get to a point where you're like, you know, and she's like, I'm going to go for a walk. Yeah, good morning, I'm going for a walk. I'm like, okay, good, you go for a walk. I'm going to go for a jerk off in the shower. So, I mean, yeah. It's like when you're at Drag Race and you're sequestered and stuff, and they give you a big, like, bowl of snacks in your room, and they also give you a pad of note paper, and you can slide a note under the door and be like, you know, in the first hour, I ran out of, you know, note paper. I'm like, more snacks, more hotel lotion. You know, and so, yeah, yeah, it's, you know, you get crazy on the road.
Let's talk about the Drag Race. I mean, it's been like 4 years since you did it, but it was definitely, like you said, a huge turning point for you.
Yeah.
You'd been doing drag since 1990.
Yeah, wow.
So it definitely must have been what was it like, first of all, before we get into your experience, when you saw Pandora get on?
It was funny because she said that she was going to film some like private, like, or indie film or something. I was like, oh, that's great. She really wants to do stuff like that. And, you know, good for her having dreams about being, you know, famous.
Right.
It worked out so well for us on Ricky Lake.
Right, because that time, before Drag Race, it really wasn't like, there was a ceiling for drag.
Yeah.
And some people got far. RuPaul, a few other queens were nationally known, but in Rochester, you didn't think there was really much of a chance you were going to make it to the top in drag.
Yeah, and like, I mean, seriously, like, if I could go back in time, I'd pick a name that's really easy to spell. You know, because I did so many times, people spell it Delta.
Oh, God.
I'm like, oh, that's great. No, I love her so much, and it's such an honor, but we cackle and we laugh about it. And, you know, people will be like, oh my God, I melted till work last night. I'm like, thank you. She was in Rochester.
Well, now, Pandora got on Drag Race.
Yeah, so,
and you were like, oh, go ahead and do your thing. And then...
Well, yeah, and then I watched it, and I became like, well, I was watching season 1.
Right.
I was like, that's so cool or whatever. And then when she had announced that she was on season 2, I was like, oh my God, bitch, I can't wait to see this, you know. And I know how she is as a boy. She's incredibly shy, and she's sort of like, you know, she bites her tongue a lot. And she's always had that sort of, she would be at parties at my house, and people would be like, if she doesn't get that look off her face, I'm going to smack it off.
Wow.
I'm like, no, she's shy. She just you know, she's introverted. It's not that she doesn't want to talk. It's just find a subject she wants to talk about, and then, you know, you'll have that. And so I always knew, like, you know, what to get her going and stuff, which is usually vodka. And and so we'd kiki and have a great time. And so she got on the show, and I was watching it. I was like so proud of her, so incredibly proud. And then she went so far, you know. But before the show had even started, she's like, so what do you think, you know? And I was like, I think you'll probably be like third runner-up. You know, it's just, you know, and maybe it's my pessimism or something. I'm like, you know, this is who I think is going to beat you, you know. And so, and I was actually kind of right. Like, I don't know. I was in tune with, like, I thought, like, what I thought the show would be and where she'd do and how she excels and where she doesn't. So,
a mother knows.
Yeah, mother always knows.
So now did that inspire you to audition right away for Drag Race?
Not at all, no. I was going through a moment where it was a very dark place in my life. Like, I was feeling like very like I was putting the weight back on after like losing all this weight,
Right.
and I didn't want to be out in the public anymore, like doing shows, and I was pulling away, and I was like, well, you know, I've had my ups, my downs, and then I started to fall into a depression and eating, and you know, like my giving into my addict ways of, you know, and all that, and there was a moment where I was actually outside. And there was a line of people to get in, and this guy screams in front of everybody. It's like, "Oh my God, Darienne, what happened? You lost so much weight. You look so good. What happened? You put it all back on."
Ugh.
And I was like, so I got to this point where it's like, I don't want to be seen by people.
Right.
It's and then at the same time, one of my really great friends, Naomi Kane, drag queen from Puerto Rico, she had been struggling. With her own diseases and stuff, and she had cancer, and she had owned the bar that we were working at called Mother's, and she wasn't going out to the bar anymore. She wasn't there. She was pulling away. She wasn't like, hey, come over, you know, bring 4 jars of fabric, and I saw you something.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, 4 jars? 4 jars! I'm like, oh, yards. Oh. And, yes, honey, you come. Basta con flama. Wow. And so she was pulling away and pulling herself away. She wasn't at the bar anymore, and she was doing the same thing I was doing, like that antisocial thing. And another good friend of mine, his name was Brent, and his name was Heather Sky in drag, believe it or not. Because when he got in drag, he was inspired by me, and he wanted to come up with a name. We love the movie Heathers, and I'm like, you should be Heather Sky. And she's like, I am a Heather. And so, so Heather Sky was born. So she also was struggling and all that stuff, and I used to go to her house and we watch Survivor and get pizza and wings, and she was no longer doing that. She was also pulling away. And at the same time, me and another friend had opened a salon, and I'd worked with Heather Sky for 10 years at a salon together, and we spent so many downtime moments where we're just connecting and being the greatest of friends. And so now she was no longer there. And I was like, it was like I was watching like Final Destination where people were dying in sequence and I couldn't stop it.
Right.
And I'm like, and I'm dying too. Like, so I didn't do anything for season 3. So then season 4 came around and they had both passed away. And I was like, Naomi could help me with outfits and help me, like I could run a sewing machine, but that's it. I can't cut out, I can't design. Growing up a fat kid, you're not looking through fashion magazines being like, that's gonna be me someday.
Yes,
you know,
definitely.
you're kind of like, you don't get inspired to that. Like performing, that was, you know, my wheelhouse. Heather Sky was also great at style. She could look at something and put an outfit together and look fucking sharp and beautiful. And so now the 2 people who'd helped me most on RuPaul's Drag Race are gone, and I don't have them. And so my season 4 tape was right after they had died, and it was depressing and horrible, and I recommend nobody watch it, because it was a very dark place. And then I did season 5 audition, and I felt like it was so much more light and more me. And then they were having the Facebook contest, and up there was like me and Adore and Haley Starr and Penetration, who won.
Oh, right, that was the Facebook contest.
Yeah.
Right, I remember that now.
And so I was like, I'm on their radar. They know who I am. Like, you know, it's great. Like, RuPaul tweeted me once, you know. So, you know.
We still get excited about that over here if it happens.
And then, I didn't get on the show, and I was a little depressed. And, you know, some of my other friends who had auditioned, they were like, you know, I get it too. And I've been, you know, Aggie Dune was saying, I'm a part of the AARP, always auditioning for RuPaul. And it got to a point where I said, you know what? One of my favorite movies is Steel Magnolias. You can't cast 8 Weezas. You can't cast 8 Truvies. You have to have Weeza, Truvy, you know, Miss Clary.
Yeah.
There has to be chemistry. It has to put together. So that's why I think that, like, there's so many queens out there. They're so wickedly talented, more beautiful, more whatever than me or whoever has been on the show. But it's about chemistry. It's about everything, all the chips falling together.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's a reason why the auditions process gets longer and longer, because they really want to get a sense of who you are. So I get that. And so then season 5, I was like, I'm on the radar. And then season 6, I was like, I thought it was my best of me ever. And I sent it in, and 10 minutes later, they sent me a call. They're like, we want a little bit more boy stuff. Well, we were over at Kasha Davis's house, and her husband was helping me edit it together. And me and Kasha were drinking an entire box of wine each. And so she's like, let's do it right now. And I'm like, okay. And so she's like, all right, we're gonna film it. I'm going to ask you questions. So she was like filming me and asking me questions about things, and I was just like a drunk baby, just like, I don't fucking care, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I was being my true, authentic self, and I think that's what helped really get on the show. And then, had the Facebook contest and everything, and apparently I won that one. So.
What, you won that contest?
Yeah, apparently.
But it didn't matter.
I don't know if it's a true story or who knows or whatever. They said, you won the Facebook contest. And I was like, but Adore Delana was in it as well. And she's got like 1 billion followers. Like, how did I compete with that? But I was talking to Dallas Coulter, she makes all those great designs for everybody. And she was like, here's the thing. Adore's very LA. Laganja's very LA. You're not that. You're New York. And so that brings a different personality. And I'm like, oh, maybe you're right. So you like me. You really like me.
Yeah, they did it. And you got on and you did it.
And I went in there with that winner attitude. I'm like, I'm not here to say, I'm going to make it till Snatch Game. I'm like, I'm here to fucking win it. Yeah. I know I can do it, and just be confident with yourself. Because those days that you felt bad and like, oh, I don't think I did that well. I didn't sleep and I was thrown off my game. And you'd be talking and Bianca would be like, you're mic'd, so shut up. Like, they're listening even if the cameras are not rolling.
Yes.
And I was like, that's a smart bitch right there.
Uh-huh.
Let me buddy up to that one. 'Cause she had never been in the bottom and stuff, and I was just like,
Wise decision.
Yeah, she's smart. I'll follow her. Plus, I love her so much. We had such a great camaraderie on the show. All of us. It was funny because they'd bring you to the set, and before you got mic'd, most of the girls would fall asleep, but me, Courtney, Bianca, Adore, Ben de la Creme, and Jocelyn Fox, we'd all sit up and have coffee and talk and stuff like that, so that we could get stuff out, and we were supposed to be on ice and not talk to each other, because anything good they want on camera, and I get it. But it was great to have that connection, and it just so happened that we were all like in the top, so, Go figure.
And is that group chat with you, Courtney, Bianca, Adore still going?
It's still going. I should really print all of it out and incriminate all of us,
Right.
But it's the most heartwarming and loving. And there's something like, if we see each other individually, it's fun, it's great. When all 4 of us are together, it's just such a magic combination, like the Wonder Twin powers, it's like... Yeah. So it's such a great thing. And in my life, like I was, 27 years old when I got on the show, and I never thought like, oh, I'm going to make new best friends in my life. And, never to think, you're never too old for anything. You're not too old to find friends. You're never too old to like, give up on your family or whatever and have them come into your life. So, it was a spiritual awakening for me.
Yeah, it was like threw your whole life into a washing machine. It came out cleaner and better and happier, really, for everything.
And thank God it did, because some of that stuff was dirty and filthy and needed a good wash.
Once you told a story on your YouTube channel about being in drag while giving Trade head and fingering him.
Oh my God.
And after you were done, you noticed a nail was missing.
This is why you children should not put stuff on the internet that can't be erased forever.
Please revisit that story.
Oh my God. So, there was a boy who used to come downstairs to my dressing room and all that, and he'd be like, oh, you look beautiful. And I was like, okay. And so he always wanted to, like, he was drag sniffer, sniffing around the queens and stuff. And he would, pull it out, and I was like, he was just gorgeous, and I was like, I'm flattered that you would, like all this. I didn't get big not knowing how to eat, so, I would go to town on him, and for me, it's like, you can't just, fuck a dude up his butthole. You have to like ring the doorbell first.
Of course.
So I was like,
So you're ringing the doorbell.
Ding dong.
Ding, 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 ding,
I was like,
ding,
oh,
ding.
ding dong. I was like, oh, 3 fingers, ding dong. And then he, of course, blew his load and all that stuff. Apparently I hit the magic spot. And so then I was like, oh, okay, I guess not today, but maybe someday. And then I came back with 2 fingernails instead of 3. And I was like, you know, that was the champagne pearl French tip that I love so much. So, yeah. But,
and you never got it back.
No, he did come back, though. So.
And you were like, open up that hole and give me my fucking nail back. Where's my champagne nail? Get it out of there!
Hello.
And thank you so much for being on the show today, sweetie.
Thank you for having me.
You look amazing. A delight to finally get you in the
need
studio.
To get your eyes checked, but thank you.
Oh, honey, my eyes see those titties quite clearly.
Well,
and you've turned it so fiercely that, honey, you snatched the trophy!
Oh
yeah! No checks, but we do have another place for you to lose your fingernail because you've just won yourself a lap dance! Yeah, but you were good, man. Come on now. It's the champagne room. You can touch, Darienne. You can touch.
What's your name? I don't care. Smells like my dad.
Lady Red, take us out with a black lady finger.
Hey, Queen. Hey, Queen. Hey, Queen. Hey, Queen. Oh, you dirty, nasty, filthy. Hey, Queen.
All right, thank you, man. Thank you. All right, now don't worry. Darienne is going to continue with us. She's going to play Look at Her, so she'll spill all the tea on all your favorite queens.
Oh, my God.
Darienne, thank you so much, sweetie.
Thank you. Oh, it's my
Thank you,
pleasure.
Lady Red, and we'll see all of you next time on Hey Qween. Bye, baby.